Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palettes. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Good. Monday fun day.
That's right. So today we are talking about the Alpha, the Defuser Claro Robusto. Cigar is 5-inch by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the PDR factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Mexican San Andres Claro. Binder is Olor Dominicano, and the filler is Piloto Cubano and Nicaraguan Ligero. It's blended by Abe Flores. Price point is $8.70, and the cigar was released in July of 2016. So, June, with that out of the way, what was your pre-light experience like?
The pre-light experience I had was fairly average. In terms of the look, I thought the cigar wrapper was kind of it had like a pale, medium light brown wrapper to it. Vein seams, for the most part, they're well pressed. The head finished off with a thick, well-applied triple cap. When I smell the wrapper, mainly got dry cardboard and like a mustiness to it. Smelling the foot, that same dry cardboard, white pepper, and mixed nuts. And on the cold draw, it gave me a cedar, that same mustiness and cardboard. So overall, it was just average.
Yeah, wrapper was like a mottled light brown color. Veins that were pretty well hidden, along with some seams that were barely noticeable. With all that said, it still looked very rustic. Head was very well applied triple cap. Band is burgundy and gold, about an inch, inch and 3/4 in its longest length. Aroma for the wrapper was a mix of barnyard, chocolate, and some light stone fruit sweetness. And the foot gave me a mix of hay and raisin sweetness. And a pre-light drop brought a little mix of leather and hay sweetness to it. So getting into the flavor profile, what was your experience like?
So off the first, initial few draws, the thing that I was immediately kind of pleasantly surprised about was it was nothing like the pre-light experience that I had, where it was so much of like this, mundane, dry cardboard, mustiness kind of a thing
Mhm.
going on. There was flavor, so I was happy about that. So off the bat, I could really tell that the cigar is very dry on my palate. I got mainly like a wood and spice mixture, specifically like a dry cedar and black pepper coming through. There's also this like dirt-like grittiness to it, and then there was like this mixed nuttiness to it that really, jive, combine really well with each other. Past the inch mark, the cigar become like pretty nutty. So that was a big plus to any cigar that I like. Rush rolling, increased black pepper, greater sense of nutty mixed nuts, finish long lingering with dry wood and cardboard, strength and body medium. Within the second third, it started picking up this stale bitterness, and also this like a cigar ash note, and it really kind of caked the entire palate with that. This makes a dry cedar, that black pepper, the mixed nuts less distinct and noticeable. Retro now primarily black pepper with less distinct mixed nuts. Finish still long and lingering with the dry wood and cardboard coming through. Strength nears medium full, while body still stays at the medium mark. Now moving on to the final third. It's pretty much a direct comparison to the second third. Still mainly that stale bitterness, cigar ash notes coming through, and then finish long lingering with that same dry wood and cardboard. So it's basically cigar started out really tasty for me, and then it kind of finished off with this like dry cardboard thing going on with the pepper backing.
Yeah, initial draws for me brought like soft notes of wood and black pepper. At a half inch in, the wood note gained some darkness and the pepper went away. There was also a slight bit of chocolate that kind of appeared in the background. And then at an inch in, the mix of dark wood and chocolate was very smooth. Retrohale kind of carried that same smooth profile to it. And as the third came to a close, not much had really changed as the dark wood and the chocolate mixture kind of continued on. The profile was, kind of has a refreshing type quality to it, which is interesting. Yeah, I kind of find that with this Mexican San Andres Claro wrapper, I kind of get like a refreshing quality from it. I know when we smoked the Bugatti, the Claro as well. I got that kind of same note to it. Strength is just kind of mild medium in that first third. Again, in the second third, the wood loses the dark note, and a bit of baking spice joins in with the chocolate. At half an inch in, that chocolate fades away, and it was just a mix of wood and baking spice. Then at an inch in, the spice began to pick up a little bit, and as the third came to a close, the profile was kind of a spicy wood, maybe cedar, but it had a nice smoothness to it, and strength was just slightly below medium at that point. Getting in the final third, spicy cedar note kind of continued on. Retrohale also carried a nice bit of zing to it. Quarter-inch in, some mintiness joined the spicy cedar, and then at a half-inch in, the spicy wood was becoming a little bit drying. And as the cigar came to a close, the spicy cedar was still slightly drying, and there was a little bit of mintiness that still lingered on. And strength had bumped up to be just right at the medium level. So getting to performance for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
Construction-wise, it was really good. I mean, in terms of the burn, the only negative that I had was the ash, did like a slight flaring within that first third. But other than that, really, really sharp burn. No ashes fell on my lap. I self-tapped all the ash marks at like 1.5-inch increments. The burn was nice and cool the whole time. In terms of the draw, it's a little bit tight for my liking, but it still didn't disappoint me at all. I was able to get everything that cigar had to offer without, feeling like the draw was a hindrance.
Yeah, for me, the burn was perfect. I mean, it was razor sharp the entire way. Ash held on about 2-inch increments. I couldn't really ask for much more from the burn. And then in regards to the draw, I think it's pretty much identical to you, just slightly tighter than I prefer. But, just a minor thing in the overall scheme of things. It wasn't a big deal to it, really. So what were your overall thoughts on the cigar?
I thought it was an average cigar. It's the baseline of kind of what they use for their absinthe infused rendition of the alpha stuff. It's premium long filler tobacco, but it's not gonna really wow you or it's gonna really disappoint you. I guess it's refreshing in the sense of knowing that it's not one of those infused cigars that they just pick like freaking chopped up banana leaves or something and then they just infuse the shit out of it. So.
Yeah, like you said, I was very curious to see what the experience was going to be because this is the base for what the absinthe infused cigars is. So I was curious to see, could the cigar stand on its own before the infusion piece happens. In the end, I thought the cigar was good. Kind of shows that the base is, like you said, quality tobacco. It's not going to blow anybody away, like you said. But it would be a really good cigar to introduce someone to cigars on. I think it's not like overpowering in strength. It's not like crazy flavor profiles. It's like just kind of a good like middle of the road flavor profile that's not gonna be objectionable to anybody. I don't think so. If you want to introduce somebody to cigars, I mean this might be a perfect cigar to do that with. Flavors begin soft, kind of slowly increase in fullness as the cigar goes along. It's kind of the same way the strength goes, but for me, it never really topped out above medium. So, I mean, I think it's worth a try to see if you like it, especially if you're interested in the absinthe version, just to kind of get a comparison of what the infusion adds to the cigar and what the cigar is on its own. So those are my thoughts. So getting to the scoring, I gave it a 6.13. You gave it a 6 even. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
Matched up well. I mean, I basically said within the flavor profile was overall average, and then I also said, that the performance of the cigar, draw and burn was really good. So, right around that 6 mark is fitting.
Yeah, we scored it identical. I just had one level up on the burn, so that's the difference in our scores. But otherwise, it was the same. Fairly average flavor profile, but with really good construction. So that's kind of how it worked out. So. Any other final thoughts from you on the cigar?
This will be a good one to do back-to-back comparisons, right? You smoke this one and then you smoke the infused one.
Yeah.
And do a compare contrast. That'd be pretty neat to do, I think.
Yeah, Coop actually did that on the show when we interviewed Tim and Justin. And he was kind of going back and forth between them. He wasn't doing the Claro. I think he was doing the Maduro. But he was definitely seeing that. He could see the contrasting flavors between the two. So it was pretty cool. So yeah. Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. You can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.